Hey everyone, welcome to our about 20th, 19th, or 20th episode of Align for Success, a member success series on Alignable that Chuck and I have been doing for actually since the very beginning of the year, I believe. We started
Yes,
out 2025 with full guns blazing. Today is May 14th, 2025. And before we get started, I definitely want everyone to find out who our guests are today. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Sue Brooke. I've actually been a member of Alignable for, gosh, almost 11 years now, I think. I think 11 years ago, I met our co-founder on the Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. So anyway, I've been with Alignable for about 5 years on the team, and I get to teach people how to use Alignable. So you've probably seen me around Alignable here and there teaching people how to use it. We're going to do some fun facts. I love doing fun facts. It's my favorite way. People don't want to hear 30-second elevator pitches all the time. It's way more fun to learn something personal about each other. So let's see, what's something about me? Well, I've owned 7 Volkswagen New Beetles. One of them saved my life. I was hit by a Ford F-250 truck in the driver's side, full of titanium, but I'm still standing today. I'm still here. So, Chuck,
amazing.
go next.
Amazing. Well, okay, I'm going to build off of that story. Both Sue and I, and we didn't know each other at the time, but both Sue and I are survivors of really bad accidents. So mine was driving home from a party, and I was probably the only middle-aged man in Massachusetts that night who wasn't drinking. I was just tired, okay? And I fell asleep at the wheel and I hit a 200-year-old tree going 40 head on and woke up just in time to see me hit the mailbox and then hit the tree. So I grabbed onto the wheel like this, as anyone would, right? And I broke both wrists. And this wrist was out to here. And I climbed out of the car and I was shaking hands with everyone who was trying to save me because I was so happy I was alive. And that was it. And then I went, oh, that hurts too. And next thing I know, I'm getting x-rayed on things and they're having me twist this one, which was obviously broken. And finally I told the x-ray guy, I said, you're absolutely killing me. Can you just it's broken, fix it. So
Oh,
anyway, that's my
wow.
my build off of that story. But that was 8 years ago,
Oh,
and
man.
I have made the most of life ever since.
I love it. And Chuck, go ahead and tell
Oh
everyone.
yeah, and I'm also like the contest guy here. I'm the head of PR. I do all the surveys, and really one of my favorite parts of the job is doing these talk shows. Really is one of my favorite things because I get to connect with all sorts of great people who I feel spiritually driven to help improve their businesses and make the most of their business lives through the contest and all of that.
All
So
right.
that's an unusual introduction, but it's
Yeah,
all good.
I love it. Elise, go ahead, go next. What's your fun fact and tell us about your business?
I'm Alise Kabakoff. I live in one of the suburbs of Los Angeles. My business is Knit Me Sew Me. I'm a 58-year knitter, crocheter, and sewer, and I turned my love of crafts into a totally handmade business. A fun fact is I am an identical twin. My sister is 5 minutes younger than I am. I was born at 12 to noon, and she kicked me out at noon because she wanted lunch.
Oh my God, that's awesome. All right, that was a great one. Dr. Janet, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dr. Janet Olivares, and I am the CEO founder of Rafa Christian Counseling Center, that is a biblical counseling center. My fun fact is I have been a professional clown for over 35 years,
Oh my God.
doing birthday parties, retirement parties. I also retired 2 years ago from accounting of 25 years, doing accounts receivable, accounts payable. And at 51, I went to school to become a Christian counselor, and I received my PhD 2 months before our grandchild graduated college.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. That's, you need to write a book. Have you written a book yet? I teach people to write books. I'm going to do another event about that. Okay, let's, if
Amazing.
it's okay, Chuck, I would like to know when these two start, when did you get on Alignable and what made you get on Alignable in the first place?
Yeah.
So whoever wants to go first, Dr. Janet.
I got on Alignable about 4 or 5 years ago. Someone invited me. I looked at it, clicked it, went out of it. Every now and then I'd get a friend request. I'd go in, I'd click it, I'd go out of it. About a year ago, I started really interacting, getting to know people, doing one-on-ones. But when it came time for the contest, that was my big hit. It was like I could hear God nudging, come on, let's get in there. You're important too. And so in 2024, we came in second because someone else had the same number of votes, but they had 2 testimonies more than we did. So this year we really worked at it. Last year we had 42 votes. This year we came in the top 20 across the nation with Canada. So we worked hard this year, but again, it was a lot of one-on-one. It was investing in the company and it's investing time to get to know people. But it's been very successful for us. Thank you, Chuck, for having started it.
Awesome. And Alise, how
Love it.
long have you been on Alignable? Brought you
My
here.
brother-in-law is an artist and a painter, and he invited me to join probably 5, 6 years ago, but I was still working full time and doing Knit Me Sew Me as my side hustle. And in November of 2020, I got laid off during COVID. And after having a nice conversation with my husband, my hobby that always wanted to be a business became a business that used to be a hobby.
Right.
So I had pretty much forgotten about Alignable until I got an email from the Women's Business Owner Group about the Women's Power Hour. Used to be on Monday mornings at 10:30 my time, and with an invite. And I was sitting around going, oh, I'll go. No harm, no foul. Well, I went, and within the first 5 minutes, I found my tribe. That was it. I met my girls. I found my tribe, and I was off and running. And those folks I met back over 4 years ago are still very good friends of mine, and they also became customers. So that's how my Alignable journey started.
That's awesome. Okay, Chuck, take it away.
Okay. Well, let me ask because I know a lot of these answers because we talk about them in my Wednesday session, the Power Networking Contest Club session. And but I let's dig in a little bit more. Dr. Janet, tell us what all has happened around this year's win because I will tell everyone, Dr. Janet has been one of the people beating the drum the loudest for the contest, during the contest, after the contest, and probably before the next contest. So tell us what has happened since in terms of some of the visibility you've seen and all of that.
Chuck, being a biblical counselor, not billing insurances, not diagnosing people, it's been a challenge because when you're a self-pay business, it makes it harder. This year with the contest, again, last year we came in second. This year we came in first local, first state. We came in number 5 in business, women-owned businesses, and we came in 16 across the nation. We have done 7 podcasts about the business. We have had someone from Alignable reach out to us. We have submitted for a sizable grant, more than I could have ever imagined getting. We received our acceptance letter. Now we're waiting on the funding, which is, I can wait, it's not spent. And we also have a TV news station that has reached out to us to do a spotlight for what they call their therapy on Thursday. So since Chuck and I last talked, we also have Central Valley coming up, And they have asked us to do a segment about the business on their show as well. So
Wow.
I'm leaving for a couple weeks. When I get back, we have lots of excitement and exciting things coming our way. And all of this has only happened because of Alignable.
Wow. Amazing.
Amazing. We need to write down that story and put it in the newsletter one of these days. But every time we talk, there's another part to it, which is even more exciting. That's
More
great.
exciting. Absolutely. And the
Amazing.
one-on-ones that we meet, it's just been amazing because people reach back out and say, hey, I think this person could help you with the grant or this person. And so again, having your connections and meeting one-on-one, it helps them help identify who to connect you with.
100%.
That's amazing. Okay,
Cool.
so let's see. And how about Alise? Tell us what your advice is. You know, not just within the contest, because I will tell people, Alise told me early on, she said at one point a couple of years ago, she found out she won the contest. She didn't even know she was in it.
Yeah,
right?
the first contest I won was I'm a 4-year winner, and the first contest I won, I got an email from you saying you're a winner, and I'm like, a winner of what? I mean, I had no idea. No, nobody had ever told me that there was a contest. I didn't even have a clue. So all the people I met from the very beginning, they all voted for me. And then of course, I did some one-to-ones with them again. I said, what's with this contest thing? And that's when they told me. I'm like, oh, okay. So, I got this badge on my, my page and all this other stuff. And I thought, okay, well, that was cool. This year, this is my 4th win, and I got more votes. I got more than double the votes I got last year. And I had my area locked up within like 2 weeks. But becoming premium, I got more votes, which, I've got the 10 votes for being a member, 10 votes for being an alliance, and the 50 votes for being premium. And I thought to myself, I am never going to use these 70 votes. No, never. So the first thing I did was I took a piece of paper and a pencil and I started writing down names, and I had 35 right there. And I'm like, okay, well, this might be doable. And so during the contest, it was insane. It was like you said, it was networking on steroids. I got a little burnt out towards the end because it was 8 weeks. It's a lot of work.
Right.
And I actually kept some votes in reserve until towards the end, and I had 4 votes left, and I casted those the week before the contest ended because I wanted to make sure I had votes left, if I met somebody absolutely extraordinary that I really wanted to vote for. So, I this year I was number 36 in North America, and I was number 18 on the women's list. So it was very
Amazing.
gratifying. I found going premium, more people are connecting with me than when I was on the free version. So all of a sudden I started seeing an influx of people wanting to connect. And then I think, Chuck, you and I talked, or I talked with somebody and they said, well, if you're premium and people know that you're paying for your membership and you have skin in the game, those are the kind of people that they want to connect with, which is fine. I mean, I was okay with that. As far as business wise, I sent out 2 special orders last week for people on Alignable. So I have gotten multiple orders. People have reordered. I've gotten new customers. And the thing about what I do is because I'm handmade, I can do special things depending what people want. And that's what I'm finding is people are coming to me after looking at the website and looking there and ordering ducks and ordering this and that. Some people wanted some special things that I was able to make their vision a reality. So that's kind of the journey so far. It's been pretty interesting. I will say that.
So I have a
Yeah.
question. So I don't know the two of you very well. I just really met you in person here, or like in person on the screen anyway, a little bit ago. And listening to what you're saying. So those of you who are in the audience that don't know what the contest is, might not know what that is. It's the Business Person of the Year contest, which is held at the
Right.
beginning of the year. So we have a little bit of time before the next one. However, because of what these two were just talking about, and I'm going to let you guys talk for a second. Now is the time to start building relationships, connecting with people, networking, attending events. All the things that you're doing right now is building those relationships and growing your network, right? So that when the contest comes, you have people that'll probably vote for you. So tell me, tell everybody here. And by the way, if anyone has questions for these two, please put them in the chat and we'll make sure we get to them. But tell us, the two of you, we'll start with Alise this time. What are some things, what are the networking opportunities you found to be really, really helpful on Alignable that's really given you the chance to meet a lot of people?
Well, honestly, the vast majority of my customers are women, so I hang out more in the women's groups. Not to say that I don't have customers who are men, but you know, the vast majority of my customers are women. And so I hang out in the women's business owners group, the women's solopreneur group. I just joined the women over 50 group or something that we had a
Wait, over 50?
Yeah, it was
Wait, what about
yesterday.
41?
Well, I know. Well, that's the joke, everybody. I'm 71, but I'm 41 again because 70 is the new 40.
Right.
So, I also look for, now that I'm premium, you know, I don't have to worry about a limited number of smart connects. But what I try to do is before I register for an event, I want to see how many people are registered.
Right.
Okay, because more than half of them won't show up. That's just human nature. Things
The way
happen,
it is.
whatever. So if you want to ensure that you're going to meet the 6 to 7 people in a Smart Connect, you need to make sure that there's at least 20 or so people in that have already registered. So I find that extremely helpful. There are events that I do every week, like Chuck's on my calendar every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, California time. Sue, don't book any events at that time, okay? Please, I just saw one today. So Chuck has my 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock slot on Wednesdays. And there are some girlfriend biz chat groups that I do. And that's kind of how I've built my network, is just, you know, meeting some absolutely phenomenal people here on Alignable, you know, getting to know them, getting to know how I can help them, because helping, now that people have helped me for over 4 years, now I'm paying it forward. So I'm helping people with their profiles. A lot of people don't know that they can post. I mean, they don't know about Alignable University. There's all sorts of things they don't know about that I'm now paying forward so other people can be successful here as well. So I kind of went off on a tangent. I hope that's okay.
But that's a great tip too. I just want to add that in because that is one of the best things to do now, pre-contest, pre the next contest, because the more you can help folks, the contest is all about celebrating not the best, business person in terms of who's earning the most or whatever. I mean, that comes later, but it's the givers, you
Yeah.
know? So
And the
just be a
contest,
giver.
and a lot of people think the contest is a popularity contest, but it's really not. I mean, you cast your vote for people who you like, know, and trust, that you've gotten to know and have a relationship with, and that they've been helpful and honest and transparent and they've shown up. And those are the people you want to vote for. You don't want to
Right.
vote for the people who send you a message saying, I won last year, will you vote for me this year? It's like,
Right,
really?
right.
You know,
I
that's
hate
that doesn't float my boat at all. So, you know, don't anybody out there, don't send me one of those.
No,
You know,
me
Right.
let's
either.
do a 1-to-1 first and then we'll talk.
Do a
Oh my God.
one-on-one so Elise can get to know you and you can get to know Elise. More importantly,
That's
that's that.
that's
So,
my
Dr.
biggest.
Janet, how about you? What are some of the tips that you're employing now pre-contest?
You know, the contest is contest. It's embedded. It's like branded in. The contest is amazing. It is. It's like like Alise said, it's like being on steroids. In the last week and a half, It's like so many ups and downs. It's like you can't put your phone down and you're excusing yourself with your family. And we were at a wedding and I stepped outside because I got behind a little bit and I had to get myself in line. Of course, I didn't tell my husband that. He won't see this. He didn't know that's what I was doing, but it's like the contest was so fun. It was just amazing. In 2024, we had 42 votes. The first time I was ever on there, and I only really got going because I had 11 votes, and like Alise, I had no clue what the contest was about. This
So-
year we were at like just under 300. So it's like, you know, you get to meet people and it's fun to get to know them, even on a personal basis. And every now and then it's like, I get this just little spiritual voice that says, hey, send this person a have a good day, or send out a hope everything's going well. We don't have to be personally involved, but we need to be connected. And
Right.
so for me, it's really important because when you get down to that last week and you're neck and neck with somebody, there is not enough time. I have 105 votes a month, or 105 connects a month. And I just realized that if you don't use them, you lose them. So me, I want to make sure all my connects are made, even if I don't have that one-on-one right away, because I don't always have that opportunity in a week. But I'll still send out a, hey, just connected with you. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk one-on-one. Let's have a coffee chat. It's just really important to connect throughout the year instead of, oh, great, I got that vote, I won this contest, and then waiting to the next contest to have any kind of a connect. It's doesn't do well for me. I want to know that people are out there during the year. I try as best I can, and I am behind in looking at posts, trying to like them. I don't always comment. I don't always have that time. But at the same time, sometimes when we get a one-on-one, I get an emergency and I have to cancel it. So it's like, I need people that can be understanding of the type work we do. Chuck was one. I mean, it was like he got put on hold. We had to start late because we had a suicidal child. And it's like, I'm sorry, Chuck, but this has to take my priority in the
Of
moment.
course it does.
And again,
Right.
everybody, you know, some people can understand that and some people don't. So it's like knowing that you've got a group behind you that really understands the work you're doing.
Yep.
And like I said, mental, physical, everything is challenging for everybody right now, especially the way the economy is. So having this group, I have over 2,000 connects, where I think we're over 300 testimonies. And
Amazing.
it's just amazing how the community stays together. So I encourage everybody, use your connects. They're so important. Try to do as many one-on-ones as you can. And if you can't, still make that just little, hey, still here, didn't lose you, but got busy here. Just again, understanding and knowing that the people you've got on your team are understanding with you.
So what you got, so I'm hearing things, this is what I wanted to really get at, is throughout the, like now, everybody, if there was a new member that was on this, watching this right now, what would be, and they don't know anything about Alignable, tell us what they should do first, you know, right now to
Connect with
build.
me.
Yes, everybody.
Connect with both of us. Connect with both of us.
And
Or
first
if you're
thing I'm gonna-
if you happen to be out of connection requests, then put it in the chat, and you know we can save the chat, and then we'll connect with you going the other way.
Right, but when I see that somebody is just coming on, or they only have a few connects, or they're just, it's like, okay, this person is just getting started. We need to have this one-on-one. We need to talk and make sure these profiles are together. And I've gone in and looked at profiles. I like Alise. I want to be able to help people. I want them to be the most successful they can be. If it's during the contest and you see somebody out there, the first thing I'm going to say is, have you voted? You get a badge if you do your 10 votes, but you got to do 10 votes. It doesn't matter to me who they're voting for. It doesn't have to be me. I just want to see the alignable badge for community support after the contest, when I go in and look at your account, and when I see someone won in a community and they didn't vote or get the Alignable Community Service badge, it's like, there's something wrong here because they either didn't know to vote or they didn't know they won.
So since the contest is quite a few months away again, let's talk about
it's-
what they could do right now to start building those relationships so that when that comes up, everything's set up. But let's
It's just
talk
all
about
hot.
Use the connects. Use as many connects. That's why premium is so important. With premium, you jump from, I believe, 30 to 105 connects.
for
Having
premium
those
plus.
connects with people is going to be your key, because again, these are the people that'll be voting. Getting into your smart connects is going to be important.
Yep.
Okay. The other thing I want, because Alise, you actually brought this up a minute ago. So one of the things that I hear from a lot of successful members, and I've done so many interviews about groups. Let's talk about the different groups. You have groups for everything, right? So you, Alise, are doing exactly the right thing. Like you just said a minute ago that you know where your customers and probably referral partners are, and they're mostly women. So you have very carefully chosen the groups to participate in throughout the year, right? So I think that's amazing. So any tips on how to choose the groups to and network and how to behave in groups? What do you post?
Yeah.
Have anything?
Well, one of the things that's really important is that when you go to post something, you cannot post the same thing more than once in a day. So if you go and post on your feed and then you go post in a bunch of groups, Alignable will kick those out. And there's different things that you can post. Like on my home feed, I can post about my boutiques. I can post about new products. I can post all the stuff about Lucky Ducky, which is the stuffed duck that is my company mascot behind me. But in the groups, the posts have to be more informational and not self-promotional.
Right.
So that's when I got involved with, Chat GPT, which I thought I would never use, but it helps me craft informational posts from self-promotional posts so that I can post different things in different groups. So when you join a group, there are so many different groups. So like if you're a coach, there's coaching groups. If you're a IT person, there's IT groups. There's all sorts of different groups, and you can go to the groups tab and you can find different groups and join those, even though some of those folks in your industry are technically your competitors. You still should join those groups because you can still learn from each other and maybe refer each other to different kinds of areas. So like if you're a life coach, there might be a grief coach, or there might be another kind of coach that you all can use as referral partners to help your clients, and help each other. So that's kind of, what I do with the groups is I'm kind of a little lax. I need to get into the groups today and look through the feeds, but I have my system. I look at my notifications every morning. I go through my messages every morning. I go through and like posts. And by the way, really important, everybody, if you comment on a post or you like a post, if somebody comments back on your comment, make sure you acknowledge that. If you post something and somebody comments on it, make sure you acknowledge the comment, because you don't want people to hear crickets. They want to see that you're showing up, that you're reading, that they took the time, number one, to comment on your post, but
Right.
you've also acknowledged that you've read it. So same thing with LinkedIn. If somebody comments on one of your posts, you comment back. So that's the part of the showing up thing. But yeah, the groups are extremely helpful, and you can go in and out of groups. You don't, just because you join a group doesn't mean you have to stay there, but there's new groups being added, and you can, find the ones that are good for you. But I would say do not join every single group because you will go crazy. So just join the groups that are applicable to you, what you do, your area of expertise. For me, it's the women's groups because, I'm a handcrafted business. but there are also contractors groups, there's plumbing groups. I mean, there's all sorts of real estate interior design groups. I mean, there's a group almost for everything. And just go to groups and find groups and join the ones that you feel will be beneficial to you and your business, and that you'll find the most connections and referral partners.
I love it. How about you, Janet?
I think for me, it's shopping around. I'm not a shopper, but I like to shop around on Alignable because I can go into groups. I can see who's joining the groups. Afterward, you get your list of who was in the group. You get your connects. When you do the breakout rooms, you get an opportunity. I have a notebook. It's almost full this year, and this only started in January. Of the people that I have connected with in smart groups and in the smart connects, and just being able to, again, check back and see how they're doing every now and then. I don't get a lot of time to get into all these groups. I try to do 2 a week, and it doesn't always work out. But Chuck's is one of those that it's so important with that networking. I'm like Alise. I have it on my calendar as if it is a daily client for the next 62 weeks, because I don't want to miss what's coming up in the
That
communities.
is so great. That's
And,
so
and
nice.
you
I
know,
didn't even know
Janet,
that.
Dr. Janet, to confirm what you just said, I have legal pads that I write every time I meet somebody. I take notes. I've got a whole Redwell full of legal pads of all the people that I've met on Alignable, and I go and I start going through them, and oh my God, I haven't seen this person in years. Let me find out how they're doing.
Right.
And and that's a big job for being on Alignable for 4 years. But I need to get a move on and start connecting, reconnecting with folks I haven't seen in a while. Because people go in and out. They're on Alignable for a while, they go off, they come back. It's just human nature.
Okay, along those lines again, Chuck, I really want to ask this because she just brought this up.
Okay.
Alignable 360 is where you can actually take notes right there inside your network page. You can take notes on people, you can tag them, you can create tags for each one so you can keep track of them. And now they just released the connections where you can click the connections link and you can actually see the last time you messaged someone.
Yeah.
If it was someone that you messaged 6 months ago, you might want to reach out to them. Have either of you really dug into the fairly new Alignable 360 and started looking through and using that, Janet? How about you?
I have not. I really have not. That is one of the things that is on the top of my to-do list when I go on vacation here in a week. But yes, I really need to have that time to be able to look at it. But I did notice that when I went into it the other day and I was looking at a new connection, or an old connection, that it did show when the last time I had talked to them was, and it's like, oh yeah, this isn't good. It's not, if this isn't good for me, it can't be good for them. They probably forgot my name already. So like I had to get on there and start with a list. And it's funny because I had this, I won't see it here. I have this notepad every time I get on a Smart Connect, because I start writing down everybody's names to make sure I don't miss them, or at least say, hey, it was good to see you in the Smart Connect this morning. Even if I'm not connected, I still want them to know that it's important. We saw them.
Awesome. How about you, Alise? Have you dug in and used introductions and all that kind of stuff?
Actually, not yet. I am, before I actually do something, it terrifies me. I mean, I'm just one of these people. I get an email from Google and I'm sick to my stomach. So, it's just one of those things where I actually would like to have somebody just get on a one-to-one with me and walk me through it and show me what I need to do, because I'm visual. So that would be more helpful to me. But I see where there are I referral partners and things like that. And I did see that you can I saw that with the last time I messaged somebody or spoke to somebody or whatever, I see that, which is going to be really helpful when I go back and start reconnecting with people.
Sue, do you mind if I suggest that Alise does a one-on-one with you?
Yeah.
No,
I
I don't know. Wait. No. Here's the thing. I love that you said that, Chuck, because guess what I did today? You don't even know this. So I get I feel really horrible that I get a million messages let's meet one-to-one. And there's just no way I would have enough time.
Yeah.
So you know what I did? I just posted, you have to be in the Alignable Insider community, which is you have to be up on a paid membership plan on the verified premium or premium plus. And I created an Ask Sue Anything. Let's hang out, like line with
great.
Sue. And it's just going to be come in. Let's get to know each other on more of a group. So I'm doing that on the 28th or 29th. So get in. Actually, I posted in the chat. I'll post it again to
I
that.
think it's the same time as Chuck's.
I don't think so. I thought I did it. No, I did it later in the day. I think it
Oh,
was.
you did?
I
And-
think. I'm pretty
and-
sure I did it later in the day. Anyway, really
Okay.
quick. Oh gosh, you said something else. I forgot what it was. Oh, the training. If anybody wants to learn how to use Alignable 360, please join. I'm on Alignable Now. What I do it live every Monday and Tuesday. I do I walk through everything. Definitely attend that live, or you can all go to the Alignable University group. There's a recording. I just put yesterday's recording in it. It was pretty good. So you can go see the latest and greatest today. So Chuck, what's
Those
our
are
next
great.
question?
So I have some other questions.
Okay, good.
Because there's and again, this episode's amazing. I mean, you guys are giving tips that no one has given in 20 episodes. I mean, it's just awesome. And all the note taking is funny because I'm a natural note taker too. So I'm like, oh, we got to form a note takers group and have AI take the notes for that. But anyway, so talk to me about Dr. Janet. Tell me a little bit more about just building the community on Alignable. See, I think once people get, this is my theory, once people feel like they're heard here and they're seen and they found their people, the rest of it all just falls into place. What do you think about that?
I agree with that, Chuck, because when I first started on Alignable and I started connecting, I think I had like 10 or 20 connects a month. I was on the free piece of this. And I didn't get it, which was one of the reasons I didn't get into it very often. I never saw anybody. And I didn't even know about the Smart Connect. So when I got the paid premium, it really started getting me, hey, there's a new Smart Connect. Hey, this group is meeting. You're invited to. And it's like, oh my gosh, I am important. They know my name because I've been invited to a Smart Connect with people that I had no clue who they were. So I think having the paid premium has really been a benefit in building my community of over 2,000 people, 2,000 businesses. And it's also helped in just those connects. With the business that we have no marketing. And so we've been able to connect with the marketer, and people are reasonable. It's not like just going out in the world and being told, oh, this will cost you about 6,000, 10,000. It's like, you really feel like you get your value with the people that you're connecting with because they feel your heart and what you're doing. It's like they can read your mind sometimes. And you can check out our website. It's a brand new website, about 2 weeks old. And it's like, this guy just totally, it's JP Solutions, and he totally could read my heart because he was the one that came to me and said, hey, I know you're not quite happy with this as you'd like to be. And it was just amazing. It just went from there and the friendship started. And here again, it all started because I asked him if he had taken his 10 votes for the contest in February. And so the relationship is just built, and we're doing an open house this weekend. He and his wife are coming, or next week, and he and his wife are coming. And I'm really excited to have this opportunity because you sometimes get the opportunity to meet them one-on-one, especially if they're local businesses. Then I try to find a way to get together with one or two people, have coffee, stop at a Starbucks, or have them come to my office because my appointments are usually back to back. But the community that you grow is really important, especially when you're in need of something. You need a marketer. You can go to the listing on your network page and you can find everybody that does marketing. Kind of look at what everybody is doing, look at their testimonies. I think this has really helped us grow because now we have marketing. Now we have a grant writer. Now we have. And in January, I think I said, we don't have nothing. I felt like that little 101 Dalmatian that was so hungry because it's like, nobody knows we're here. And it was just so funny because it was like all of a sudden with the wind and everything that went on, it's like we're overwhelmed. We're swooping up and it's like people do know and they understand. So again, your community is going to be very important in who you're meeting one-on-one, and who you need down the road is going to be important. Businesses always need businesses to be more successful.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta jump in here really fast because
Okay.
since the two of you haven't really jumped into Alignable 360, you just said the power of Alignable 360. When you go to your network page, your My Network, everybody click on My Network, that's your network. It is prioritized and sorted by your ideal customers and your ideal referral partners. So you can see who in your network fits that, but it's more importantly about if they know any of your customers and referral partners. And lastly, what I was going to say is you can actually search in that My Network page for a bookkeeper, for an attorney, whatever you need, for a marketer or whatever for your business. And it will find not only the people in your network that fits it, but who they know. So that gives you, you're just like, it's your second degree network, which is arm's length away from being introduced. And then there's a get introduced button. So let's say you look, and as in Alignable 360, let's say you say, oh, look, my friend so-and-so in my network knows a marketer and I'm looking at their thing and I don't know them and I'm not connected. So you can click the get introduced and say, hey, whatever your friend's name is, would you mind introducing me to the marketer that you know? And that's the power of 360 right there. So try that, Janet, try to use that thing and try to find those people.
So, and we do it all the time. We really do. I just didn't realize that was the key. Here I am. I've done a couple of your morning, I'm on Alignable now but I wouldn't, the association of the 360, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
guess
no,
I do know more about it than I thought I did.
No, it's all good. No, that's all good. You're doing it on your own
Yeah.
anyway. We're just saying once you have a moment to look at it, it'll be
I love
easier. That's
Right.
all.
And,
But you're
another,
doing
and
it already.
another beauty part of the connection was because Dr. Janet invited Jason, who did her website, to one of the Wednesday
Right.
thing 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, Jason and I connected, and
Oh,
he told me that he and his wife are going to your open house, and he's looking forward to meeting you. So
Thank you.
that's the power of it. Also, the other part is if I'm ever looking for something, I'm going to go to Alignable first. Okay. So when my website needed a redo, I found a website, my website guy on Alignable, my social media gal who is just phenomenal. I had a connection, and then her connection referred me to her, and we've been working together for years. My ID Shield person, my Legal Shield person, my Malaluka person. Anytime you need something, go to Alignable first. That's the whole idea behind this, is small businesses supporting small businesses.
True.
And
right.
especially in your local communities.
Yeah.
So this is the beauty part about it. So for me, if somebody wants a special gift, come to me first before you go to Walmart or Target or Costco, for crying out loud, sort of thing. But that's the beauty part of it, is we're all supporting each other, so the tide lifts all boats.
Right.
Very
Right.
true.
Plus,
I'm
made in America, Elise, made
Yep.
in America.
Yep. Made in California. Nothing is imported here.
Made by
Show
these
me.
two hands, that turned a hobby into what's turning into a deliriously successful business.
Thank you.
And
And you know this,
will only build.
the Saturday after Thanksgiving is the donation day for small businesses. And you know what? It was Alignable that I went to look for which small businesses are we supporting this year.
Wow.
Because it's not just about going out into your local community, but it's looking at your local community and who's on Alignable is where I started. And then it was like, okay, so this business isn't out there. I went and met with them in person and talked to them on how to get on Alignable.
I love it.
Aren't they great? Honestly,
love
so
Alignable.
aren't I mean, really, I've kept these two to myself for a long time, Sue. Now
Chuck,
you
I've been
know.
talking to my husband about stepping down and working Alignable and letting someone else take over the practice because I love Alignable. My husband is just looking at me like,
I
and it's like, but really, honey, it's really a good platform to get on. And he goes, you're on it. It's like, yeah, but I need to have a little more time. I could cut my hours and let someone else help out here, and I could work more on Alignable. I'd be excited. I'm excited to even think about doing that.
Oh my goodness, should we be sending from Alise? Should we be sending your husband a Father's Day gift or something?
And it's funny during the contest, I kept looking at my phone like the last week because I was going up and down. I was going to be in the top 50. I just didn't know where I was going to land. And I'm looking at my phone and we're having dinner Friday night. The contest ended at 9 o'clock California time. And I'm looking at my phone and he goes, will you stop looking at your phone? I go, it's almost over. It's almost over. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm going, oh my God, it's over. And he goes, thank God.
I had to,
Because I want my wife back. I don't want her looking at her phone all day long.
I walked out of the room and came back with a box of C's candy and a card that said, thank you for letting me do this.
so okay.
So that's dedication, Sue. I mean, really, we find great dedicated people, but that's incredible. And I'm surprised I haven't been hearing from the husbands going, who is this Chuck? Who is this? Whatever,
We have to understand that when we're doing this or doing an 8-week contest like that we forget how self-sacrificing our spouses, our better half really is being, because trust me, it's not easy to put that phone down. And especially a year ago in 2024, I thought I still had a couple hours. They kept saying over at 12, over at 12. And at 9 o'clock it went, and that was it. And it was like, I still had 2 votes. I might have won that one, but it's like, yeah, we're not going to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we only have like 10 minutes, so I want to make sure we get all the questions answered that we want to help anyone that's in the room.
Yes.
And there's a question. I see this posted, and I want to know how you guys would answer it. I see it posted a lot, and actually, I did an event with Sherry Pedrilli and Jason Integrity called exactly what was posted. I'm not getting any customers on Alignable. I'm leaving. They're negative. It's like, I see that. I haven't gotten one customer on Alignable. What would you say to someone that, okay, go, Alise?
If you're coming on Alignable just to get customers and sales, this is not the place for you. It's not social media. This is a relationship building platform. It took months before I got my first customer, and it was before I even got my website to where it would take online orders. People would call me and ask me for things, and I'd text pictures back and forth, and they would send me a check or they give me a credit card number or whatever. That's been alleviated, by the way, but it doesn't happen right away. People have to get to know you. It's like, know, and trust. They want to see you show up. They want to see you be genuine. They want to see that you're helpful. And that's when the business comes. If you're not doing your smart connects, if you're not doing one-to-ones, if you're not posting, nothing's going to happen. You have to make the effort to put yourself out there. As my stepdad used to say, if you want to get hit by a car, you have to play in traffic. So you have to get off your tuchus and you have to get in the game and do your smart connects, do your one-to-ones, make those connections and keep in touch with people. And as people get to like, know, and trust you, you will get business. But if that's all you're expecting out of Alignable, then it's probably not going to work for you.
Wow, Janet, what do you have to say?
I totally agree with that. This isn't a counseling center. This isn't about everybody coming to me for counseling, because I'm sure none of you need it. I probably need it worse than everybody. And the thing is that it's not about that. It's about just knowing that who you connect with, that they're safe. If you need a place to talk, there's safe places to go. It's not, again, for me, it's not about financial. You know, I didn't get on Alignable to become rich quick. I got on Alignable to be able to start finding businesses that I could connect with, local and distant. I'm from the Midwest. I've connected with some people in South Dakota on, and also helped them get on Alignable. So when people say that it's not that Alignable isn't performing for them, chances are they're not performing on Alignable. They're not doing their connects. They may not have their profile up. They may not have all their tags up. And it may just be a matter of reaching out to somebody in one of the smart connects and saying, hey, could you just take a look at my profile? Would you help me just take a quick peek? Everybody, I think, on Alignable is pretty available to help others. But I think if you asked for some guidance, I think you'd find yourself to be more successful.
And another thing that I don't think we talked about today is your profile. Your profile is your business card. And if there's nothing there, how can people know about you if you haven't completed all the areas that you need to complete? You know, you need your banner, you need your photo, you need your customers you want to meet, partners you want to partner with, how we got started, about us, the whole shebang, your tags. All of these things are really important, because if people look at you, they get your name and they go to your profile and there's nothing there, what does that say about you? You know, that people aren't going to go back twice. So fill out, make sure you've got your profile is complete and all the areas are completed, and with as much information. This is where you can put your links to your website, your social media, your YouTube channel, the whole shebang. The more information you put in there for people to be able to read when they come to your profile, the more you're going to be able to connect, because they're going to know what you're all about.
100%.
And that's really true, because we just had our first media release, and at the bottom of that media release had to have been 96 tags. Now, we're a biblical counseling center, and they tagged in farmers and tractors and bulldozers, and I think they tagged in every single thing that could possibly be tagged in. So make sure you're really looking at your tags. If you're such as me, don't just stick to counselors. Look for the teachers, look for the pastors, look for the ministers, look for everybody that could come into the circle, individual people, and look for businesses, again, that could come in and help with the growth of what you have, as well as you growing them. So the tags are also important on top of the profile.
Awesome. All right. I love it. You guys have given some great things. Any last minute question or comment or anything, Chuck? And then I'm going to tell everybody where to find you.
Well, what I'd like to underscore here is that both of these wonderful young ladies have told us that they have a routine. Okay, and that's usually a question either Sue or I'll ask. So do you want to just give maybe 3 tips, starting Alise this time? Just 3 tips on the routine, what people ought to try to do with Alignable every day if they can.
Well, the first thing is always look at your notifications. Go into your page, go into your notifications, go through those, respond, clear those out, make sure you read things, you comment, like, and then if you have any messages, make sure you answer all your messages. And I do that in the morning and then in the late afternoon before I turn off my laptop. And
Wow.
then of course posting. Make sure that you post and post often.
Love it. Dr. Janet, what are your 3 tips? I love it.
Be visible. Get as visible as you can with the likes, the comments, the little things you want to put in there, the little posts. Everything is going to be important. But set goals for yourself. Everybody has a busy schedule. Set goals. How many people would you like to reach out to in a day? My goal is 10. I try to find 10 people a day to reach out and just say, hey, hope you're having a good day. How are things? Have a good weekend if it's a Friday. Those are the things that I think are most important, is making sure that you're staying visible with your community and everybody else out there.
Oh my gosh, I love that one. I totally agree. And show up. This just when I do my events, Sherry Pedrioli always says this, don't show up with like you have a bag over your head. So show up with, on screen with your smiling face. You don't go to a networking event with your bag over your head. So don't come to events with you're not on screen, right? So that's her thing that she always talks about. I know we only have a couple minutes. I did post in the chat, everyone. There's a list of different things there. If you go scroll up and see the ones. First of all, I have the Alignable University group where you can find I'm on Alignable Now What. You can find my mastermind with Sue. There's a link in that bunch of them there. I do a mastermind every single Friday where you can ask a question and then you can also help people. The Alignable Insider Community is a fairly new group that I'm massively excited about that I run, and it's for any paid member on Alignable. We do members only mastermind smart connects. I just posted a mastermind. I'm doing my come and hang out with me, ask me anything kind of thing in a couple of weeks. We bring on people and experts like Chuck. Actually, he came in the group and he did one on how to get free PR for your business. That one, people went nuts over that.
There's
And
a
I
new
did,
one coming up on that soon.
yeah.
I'm sure there will be.
And then I did one on how to become a published best-selling author overnight, like
Awesome.
I did, and I taught people how to do that. So come in that group. It's like so amazing, and I'm adding more events in there. So that's in there. The Alignable Alliance Ambassador and Group Leader programs. If you're interested in becoming a group leader or an ambassador, those links are there. There's a YouTube link for all of the replay of this and all the other previous ones and the future ones that we're doing. But you can definitely go in the Alignable University group and sign up, register for all the upcoming episodes. We do it every single Wednesday. And then I add a little special link. If any of you are not on one of the membership plans, so you're just you're a guest if you're on the free account, but if you don't have the verified premium or premium plus membership, there is a 20% off your first month in there, so you can try it out. And definitely connect with these two. Go back to this where you registered and where you launched it. Connect with them right away. Obviously, they're going to get back to you. Anything else? Last minute announcements, Chuck. Anything else?
I did post a couple times for the Wednesday group too, because we love to have newbies join. And again, this is how we found these two wonderful people, was literally through them going to that group. And we've gotten I mean, it's really, that group is now a combination of the Brady Bunch and Cheers. I mean, we all just come together for each other. We're all family, and we're always looking for new members of the family.
I love it. Also, just so you know, Chuck actually runs the weekly newsletter, the Spark newsletter. It comes every Sunday morning. I sit and wait for it to show up in my email box, and you can learn
Me
all
too. Yeah, right.
I bet you do. So definitely make sure your email settings are so you make sure you get that Spark newsletter. So thank you, Chuck, for doing this. Thank you, ladies. You were
Thanks,
amazing.
Thank you for
everyone.
having us.
For having us,
You were
absolutely. Have a great week.
fantastic.
Awesome. And thanks to all the people that showed up today. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks so much.